Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Gulfstream Park here on Saturday. It is the 12th of December 2020. Come look at the stakes races on the program from Gulfstream, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Get 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Let's get to the stakes action. We'll be looking at races 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. The fourth race from Gulfstream, it is Rampart Stakes, Grade 3, purse $100,000, race for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses going to the main track. The distance of ground here of 1,600 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Aqueduct main track, Gulfstream main track, 1,600 meters, 1 mile here. And it gives me a second to look down my notes showing that diagram. That's why I said aqueduct, because I was looking at the wrong notes for a second. My top selection here in the Rampart, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Letruska. We'll go 5, 6, 2, 3 in the superfecta. 5, 6, 2, 3 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Letruska. This 4-year-old filly by Super Saver gets Jaramillo up in the saddle. Most recent out again the 4th of October at Belmont, a mile and 8th in the Grade 2 Beldame. And the horse finished 4th by 14 3/4 lengths. Was on the front end early on and basically just stalked, set some easy, not so easy fractions that day, and then got caught. Had to slow it down. The front of this horse wanted to win. Stepping down in class, back to Gulfstream, 1 turn mile. I think the horse is in a better spot to win. 2 back in the Chuvy at Saratoga, mile 8th, August 30th. The horse went by length, and on the front and all throughout, the horse did everything right and won very, very easily. 1 and 2, 109 and 2 3/4 for a mile 8th. For the horse to win off of that, it was quite impressive there. And then before that, the Ballerina at Saratoga, 7 furlongs, August 8th, against 2 tough competition. The horse finished 5th by 6.5 lengths there, and just really had nothing. But before that, won the Ed Elegans over the trip of ground here at Gulfstream by 2.5 lengths on the front and all throughout, an all-around easy race. Since they took the horse to America a year ago to run the Classico del Caribe International, when the horse went over a mile and a quarter very easily by 4.5 lengths, ever since then, the horse has been running these good races. The only subpar race was on the turf, but coming here, it looks like she has the speed to win. 2-1, a very likely winner, and a horse you could single in your multi-race wagers. So to recount my selection for the 4th from Gulfstream, it is the Grade 3 Rampart. Let's take the 5 horse Letruska as a top selection. We'll go 5, 6, 2, 3 in the superfecta. Let's get to race number 6 now. Race number 6 from Gulfstream. It is the Sugar Swirl Stakes, Grade 3, purse $100,000, race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses heading to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Gulfstream Park main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs here in the Sugar Swirl. My top selection, we're going to go to the rail to the 1 horse, Sound Machine. We'll go 1-3-6-5 in the superfecta. 1-3-6-5 super, top selection of 1 horse, Sound Machine. The 3-year-old filly by Into the Mischief, Safi Joseph Jr. trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing, the 14th of November at Calder, Muddy Seal going 7 furlongs in the Millions Distaff Preview. And the horse finished second by 1.5 lengths. He kind of stalked all the way around the race course, just never quickened up. Maybe the slop got to it, maybe the trip got to it. I don't know. But stepping down in class back to Gulfstream Park, I think the horse could run a little bit better of a race. 2 back in the Preakness of Pimlico, 6 furlongs, 3rd of October. The horse definitely outran her 14-1 odds, I thought, that day. She finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. She stalked after not the best beginnings, a little bit wide, but she was coming down there late. It wasn't the world's worst or best race either. It was an average kind of run. And then before then, the prior was at Saratoga, 6 furlongs, 5th of September. The horse finished 5th by 8.5 lengths off the bench. Didn't break well. Need the race also. It just was a recipe not for success there. And then prior to that, in the any limit here at Gulfstream, 6 furlongs, 22nd of February. The horse finished 2nd by 7 lengths. Frank's Rocket just took off clear. This horse was just basically the best of the rest that day, a little bit wide, and wasn't catching a very spectacular filly that day. And then before then, the Glitter Woman here at Gulfstream, 6.5 furlongs, January the 4th. The horse won by 6.5 lengths from a stupidly wide post dress. She stalked, she got the lead, and then she just won for fun. Back to the home base, training very well. 2nd off the bench at 5-1. Let's take her. The 3 horse Golden Amy coming in from Canada, back to dirt. Buyers are very nicely done. At 5-2, definitely use her on the multis. The pick 6 begins with this race. So to recap my selection for the 6 from Gulfstream Park, it's Grade 3 Sugar Swirl. Let's take the 1 horse Sound Machine as the top selection. We'll also give kudos to the 3 horse Golden Amy. We'll go 1-3-6-5 in the superfecta, 1-3 in the multi race. Let's get to race number 8 now. Race number 8 from Gulfstream. It is the My Charmer Stakes, $75,000 race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses heading to the turf course. The distance of ground here, 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.116 on the Gulfstream Park turf course. 1,700 meters, 1.16 here in the My Charmer. And I show the diagram, just gives me a second to look down the notes, just bear with me. Portable rails are not up for this race, so it's the inner portion of the turf course, the pre-2005 turf course. But the top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Lady Lawyer. We'll go 5-1-2-4 in the superfecta, 5-1-2-4 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Lady Lawyer. This 4-year-old filly by Blame. Chad Brown trains. Tyler Gaffleone gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 23rd of October at Keelan. Good turf course. 1 mile allowance race, 74,000, and the horse won by 3/4 in length, and on the front end having everything her own way easily, kept going, winning by 3/4 in length. It was an all-around good effort. Come to stakes quality horses for the second time today, shouldn't be a problem. I think she has the speed, definitely went on this turf course. 2 back in Kentucky Downs on the 12th of September, soft ground, 6.5 furlongs in the grade 3 ladies sprint. She finished 4th by 4.5 lengths there. She was drawn a little bit too wide. She moved a little bit late. It wasn't the worst race for her, but it wasn't the best either. She could have did a little bit of improving there. And then prior to that, she ran the 17th of July at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs on a good melon turf course off 6-2 claimer. Horse won by a neck. She stalked. She was a little bit wide, but she got the job done, winning there in the nick of time. And then prior to that, her first start stateside at Belmont, 7 furlongs, June the 4th, and off 62. The horse finished second by a half length, and she was with them early on. Went a little bit too fast. She just needed that extra turn a foot late. It was an okay return to the races there. And then before that, she's previously trained by John Gosden running in the UK, and she was running these good races. Her only subpar race was against stakes quality horses in the Rosemary Stakes at Newmarket, where she just did not run at all. But other than that, she won at Chelmsford against very good handicap horses, and then won at Chelmsford again before that against very good handicap horses, and then Kempton before that. Some decent horses there. But coming here, speed to win on this turf course, 2-1. Let's take her. Second likeliest winner is the 1 horse Nico's Dream. Sakatoga owns this one. Barkley Tag trains. Junior Alvarado, who is coming to ride this meeting from New York, gets the mounts. And I think Junior Alvarado, he rode here many years ago, like 2010. And, he always rode well here at Gulfstream. And it wouldn't surprise me if he has a very good meeting here. But this Nico's Dream, most recently he ran the Ticonderoga at Belmont on Empire Classic Day, going a mile 16th, finished third by 3.25 lengths there, and he just kept going. He was a little bit wide. It wasn't the world's worst race for him. He definitely improved throughout the race before, which came at Belmont, going a mile 16th, where he finished 5th, where he just had nothing there. And then before that, the dirt race, Saratoga, throughout, because he's not a third horse. He runs these better races on turf, and runs these, he's run here quite a few times at Gulfstream in the past, and he's run decently here, training well. 8-1. Let's give him a shot on the multi-race. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Gulfstream, it's the My Charmer. As a top selection, we'll take the 5 horse Lady Lawyer. Also give kudos to the 1 horse Nico's Dream. We'll go 5-1-2-4 in the superfecta, 5-1 in the multi-race. The 9th race from Gulfstream Park now, local prep race for the Pegasus. It is the Harlan's Holiday Stakes, grade 3, purse $100,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses heading to the main track, and the distance of ground is 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile 1/16 on the Gulfstream Park main track. 1,700 meters, a mile 1/16 here in the Harlan's Holiday, named after the 2002 Florida Derby winner. I think so, because it couldn't be. I don't think it was 2001, because I think Monarchos won then, and 2003 was Empire Maker, so it had to be 2002. But my top selection here, and my single multi-race will be the 1 horse Tax. We'll go 1-7-6-3 in the superfecta. 1-7-6-3 super. Top selection 1 horse Tax. 4-year-old Gallon by Arch. Danny Gargan trains. Luis Saez gets the mount. Horse hasn't been seen since the 2nd of May. That came at Oaklawn. I'm on 8th in the Oaklawn handicap. He finished 5th by 6.75 lengths there. Stupidly wide that day, and he left out of the gate, but then kind of hit the wall late. It wasn't his day to win. Stepping down in class here. Speed favoring track. Has some speed into him. I think he'd go a long way in this one. 2 back in the Pegasus here. Gulfstream on January 25th. He finished 9th by 15.25 lengths there, and he didn't break that well. Was stupidly wide from an inside poster, which was even worse, and he just never had a run there. Not Jose Ortiz's best ride there also. And then prior to that, in the Discovery at Aqueduct Mountain, November 30th, he finished second by 1/4 lengths behind Performer. Former ran very good that day. This horse sat back early, a great turn of foot late, not a bad run. And then prior to that in the Travers, he just wasn't getting the mile in the quarter, especially from the wide post draw. But upset it before then, the Jim Dandy winning by 3/4 length, where he outran some decent horses there. Texas and Global Campaign, Texas and Global Campaign. And then before that, he ran an okay fourth in the Belmont. And of course, we all know he won the Withers and the place in the Wood Memorial. Coming here today, speed favoring track, speed favoring horse at 2-1, a very likely winner. So to recount my selection for the nights from Gulfstream, it is the grade 3 Harlan's Holiday. Let's take the one horse Tax. We'll go 1-7-6-3 in the superfecta, single the one in the multi race. Let's get to the 10th race featured on the program from Gulfstream. It is the Fort Lauderdale Stakes, grade 2, purse $200,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses heading to the Gulfstream Park turf course, the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, the distance of ground of a mile 1/8 on the Gulfstream Park turf course. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8, rails at 60 feet, so it's the mid portion of the turf course. There's three rail settings today, 0 feet, 60 feet, and 120 feet. So 3 turf courses in play, which I think is quite cool. But my top selection here in the Fort Lauderdale, I'm going to take the 2-horse Delaware. We'll go 2-1-10-5 in the superfecta, 2-1-10-5 super. Top selection 2-horse Delaware. Four-wheel colt by Frankel. Chad Brown trains. Ira Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. Blinkers off today. Most recent outing came here in New York at Aqueduct, a 1-mile inner turf course in the Artie Schiller, and the horse finished third by a neck that day. Stalked that day, a little bit wide that day, but was really closing up well late. I didn't think it was a half bad race. He was a little ranked that day, so maybe that's why they're taking off the blinkers. Maybe, he'll concentrate a little bit better on the run. 2 back in the King Edward at Woodbine, 1 mile August 15th. He finished 5th by 7.5 lengths there, and he just had nothing that day. Never really got into it. Again, maybe the blinkers had something to do with that. And then prior to that, first with blinkers at an absolute 80 at Belmont, 7 furlongs, July the 5th. He finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. He sat back mid-pack most race, a little bit of trouble trip around the bend, but he showed potential there. And then first start in the States, the 7th of June at Belmont, 7 furlongs on the first defense. He finished 8th by 5 lengths there, and he really just didn't have anything that day. It was very, very lackadaisical into that running. With that next race, he really improved. But I like how they're taking the blinkers off. Without the blinkers, I think he can really show another dimension. Prior to 2020, he was running in France under the Care André Fabre. Most recently in France in the Prix de Moulin de Longchamp, soft ground 1 mile, September of 2019. He finished 9th by 6.5 lengths there, and he against 2 tough horses, never capped up. But before that, won at Deauville down the 1 mile straightaway very easily, and then again before that, and again in a very listed stakes at Deauville, won by 3 lengths. It was an all-around good effort. But coming here today, has some speed if he wants to use it. But, I think he should get a good trip from the inside. 5-20, a very likely winner. And I also think you have to use the one horse, something like a Hop Brown, who, every time I don't pick him, he wins, and every time I pick him, he'll always place for some reason. But most recently he won very easily in the Mohawk at Belmont, and then a very good place before then, the Dinner Party at Pimlico. Should get a good trip from the inside. The speed's been really holding up well on this turf, of course, at Gulfstream. 4-1 will use him, and I also think from a wide poster, Halliday, if he could get the little extra trip, he could run a good race. They're basically using this. This is a local preparation for the Pegasus Turf Cup, and if Halliday runs well today, that's going to cement his ticket in for the Pegasus Turf Cup in a few weeks. But at 7-2, he can win on ability also. Also, he absolutely loves his turf course, 3-3 on it. All best spires have come locally. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Gulfstream, it is the grade 2, 200,000 Fort Lauderdale. Let's take the 2-horse Delaware as a top selection. We'll go 2-1-10-5 in the superfecta, 2-1-10 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.